you today? So I thought we'd try and do some baking again, as it's Friday, and normally I'm baking with the children on a Friday, and we've made a few cakes recently, so I thought let's make something called biscuits. And I've never made this recipe before, so I've got no idea what they're going to turn out like. So this is a guinea pig situation for me too. Let's see. Now, to begin with, apparently I'm going to need this. Now I'm going to make mine dairy free. It's up to you whether you make yours dairy free or not. So you can just use ordinary butter, in which case you need it at room temperature, or you can use a dairy free alternative. And we need, look children, we can't pour it, so it must be a solid, hey? And can you remember where butter comes from? That's right, it comes from the cows, doesn't it? So the milk is mixed up and made into butter or ice cream or yogurts or all delicious things like that. Now we're going to need, let's turn my scales on. I might put my hair up as well, children, because it is tending to flop about a bit recently, so let's just quickly get at that. We don't want hair in biscuits. Ew, that'd be disgusting. Right, so we need 125 grams, so we're going to be looking for 1, a 2 and a 5, okay? They're the numbers and that's the order. So I'm going to use my spoon and let's see. And apparently this makes about 18 to 20 biscuits. Got no idea. We'll find out, won't we? Now I think some of you have been trying to make some biscuits at home, and perhaps with varied success. And there is a trick, which I'll tell you about later when it comes to biscuits. Oh, tiny bit off. So I've got a 1, a 2 and a 5. 125 grams. Just tidy up that spoon. So that's something you're really good at school, isn't it? Is spooning out your ingredients. And I'm just going to pop that in there like that. Now the other thing that we need is sugar. And it says granulated sugar, but I don't actually use granulated sugar at home. So I'm going to use caster sugar, which is a bit finer. And mine's going to be golden caster sugar. And if I've remembered correctly, I think it's still a 1, a 2 and a 5. Let's just double check. Yes, we need a 1, a 2 and a 5 grams of sugar. So you can use granulated sugar, as the recipe suggests, or caster sugar. I don't mind. Let's see. And I'm just going to tip that out for quickness, but you could spoon it in. Or you can pour it in. Yours might still be in the bag, but I tend to put mine in special containers. Oh, a little bit over. There we go. A 1, a 2 and a 5 grams of sugar. Now at school we use that very special tool that I sometimes pretend is a hairdryer, don't I? And you say, no Sandra, it's not a hairdryer at all. So it's called a, and we go, a mixer, isn't it? And we need to mix this together until it's lovely, creamy and fluffy. Now I'm very aware that can be a little bit noisy, so I'm going to take it to my machine, and I'm going to whiz it up. And that's Purdy playing with that bone that I told you about in one of the stories, the antler bone, a bit like Harry McClary. And she's taken it to her special bed. Anyway, we digress. I'm going to whiz that up, and I'm going to show you in a minute what it looks like when it's light and cream and fluffy. But I'll turn off the film for a minute so it's not too noisy. So it's just going to go in here. So you can use a hand mixer, or if you've got a stand mixer, use that. And as you see it here, are you ready, children? It's going to be noisy, and then we'll stop the film and we'll restart. Oh, what haven't I done, children? I haven't turned the plug on, have I? Silly Sandra, or as we say at school, silly sausage Sandra. Let's see if I've got power now, if there's electricity coming down. There is. There we go. So it's a little bit noisy, so we'll pause it and I'll see you in a second. Okay, children, so here we go. It's been whizzing and whirling and swirling and burling. And as you can see, that sugar and that butter has gone all light and cream and fluffy. So it's ready for the next ingredients. Okay? Did I tell you what flavour we're making today? I can't remember. So, we're making something called ginger biscuits, and I love ginger. So, let's see if we can make these really scrummy. Now, apparently the next thing we need is something called, that grows as wheat in the fields, and then we have to chop it up with the combine harvester in the autumn, and it's called flour, and it's soft and a bit like we were saying the other day, you get plain flour, which is ideal for sauces and Yorkshire puddings and scones, and then we need our biscuits to be light and fluffy. We don't want to bite them and go, oh, and it hurt our teeth, do we? So we need them a bit like cakes, light and fluffy. So we're going to use something called self-raising flour. Now let's see how many grams we need. Oh, we need, children, oh, it's that magical number again. I should have remembered, shouldn't I? We need a 1, a 2 and a 5. We need 125 grams of flour. And you can do this bit because all you're doing is spooning, and you'll do it much better than me because I seem to be pouring it everywhere. And at school, you're very good. You don't make such a mess, do you? On our tippy-toppy scales. Silly me. Purdy's being very good today, isn't she? She's not joining us. Sometimes she joins us for the cooking, doesn't she? She's let us know that she's about with her bone. So we've got a 1, a 2 and a 5. And all we're going to do, children, is we're going to tip that into our flour and butter mix. Give it a tap so we don't leave any behind. And with that, oh, now you might have this in the morning, and it's called, let me show you. I wonder if you know what these are. I wonder if you can guess. If you were to mix this with milk or water, can you see? These are called porridge oats, and they're really, really, really scrummy. So we're going to use porridge oats in our biscuits. And we need, sorry, you're looking at the top of my head. Oh, we need a 1, a 0 and a 0. So we need 100 grams of porridge oats. Let's move that so you can see a bit better. And again, if you've got them in a bag, whatever, you can just spoon them out. Oh, they make a nice sound. Like that sound. It's like scrunching on leaves. I wonder what you've been up to this week. What exciting adventures you've had. Have you been building some dens in the garden? Maybe with some cardboard boxes. Oh, nearly there, children. Let's see how I'm going to go down low so I can see the numbers a bit better. 98. Oh, and I went over. So we've got 100 grams of porridge oats. In go the porridge oats. No ginger yet, is there? Let's see. It says that we need to now add this. Let's have a little smell. This is called ginger that's been ground up. It smells lovely. You're doubting me now, aren't you, by that? But not as nice as cinnamon, and I prefer the smell of cinnamon, I'll be honest. And I prefer the smell of mixed spice. But it is a powder, just like those, and a very similar colour, a bit lighter in colour to the cinnamon and mixed spice and the nutmeg. This is called ginger. And in goes, we need 1 teaspoon of ginger, because they've got to taste like ginger. Now, the recipe actually calls for something called crystallised or stem ginger. I don't keep that at home. It's not something I have, despite loving ginger. But what I am going to use is this. Here you go, children. This is root ginger. So this is where our ground ginger came from, was this. and I like to have this in my, just with water and lemon. I drink it all the time. So we're going to use this. We're going to use fresh root ginger. Now apparently we need 40 grams, which does seem rather a lot. So let's just chop it off. So we're going to look for a 4 and a 0. I don't know if we're going to need that amount. That's a lot, isn't it? What do you reckon, children? A little bit more? Now that smells nice. I prefer that smell to the ground ginger smell. Okay, we'll do a little bit more. Might make them a bit too gingery, mightn't it? That's enough. That's 25 grams. I'm just going to do that. So I don't want them too gingery, but I don't want this bit on. So I'm just going to quickly peel that off. And we'll probably pause that while I peel it, because otherwise it's going to be a bit boring to watch me peeling away the skin of root ginger. And then we're going to just chop it up really small into little bits. So we'll pause it there while I quickly peel this all off for you. Are you still filming this, Annabelle? You're a cheeky madam. I sense that because you haven't gone to get a drink or anything. She's being very, very cheeky. She wants me to peel this as quickly, under a panic now. And you're probably now thinking, well, why isn't she using a vegetable peeler? I don't know. Why aren't I using a vegetable peeler? No idea. You'll see what a mess I make of it all now. There's that one, peeled. But we don't want those nasty bits in there. Let's get rid of those. Oh, you get me all in a fluster now, Annabelle. Let's just put those in there, out of the way. She's cheeky. So here we go. Let's do this one as well. She says she can't stop, but I'm sure she can stop, can't she, children? We'll say, cheeky, 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 Annabelle. Or like in that story of Smudge where he says a naughty, 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 naughty boy. We'd have to say naughty, 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 naughty girl. But it's very nice of Annabelle to give us her time to do the filming, isn't it? I'm trying to look at you and not chop my fingers, Annabelle, while I try and peel this very awkward shape of fresh root ginger. She's going to be very boring for the children to watch. Where's Purdy? Is she anywhere to have a look at? No, she's gone off. You see, children, when I have this with my hot water, I don't bother about it. That just goes in my drink. It makes a lovely infusion. So there's that. And I'm just going to literally just chop that up as if I was chopping an onion. I just want little bits. And you'll probably be able to do this much more better than I can. I can't really see what I'm doing, you see, children. I'm just feeling my way around here. I'm hoping. Oh, hello. Here she is. She's like, Mummy, what are you up to? Is there something that I can munch? Aren't you? Hey, I can see you, beautiful. Oh, I think these are going to be very gingery, children. I think that's probably enough. I think that calls for far too much ginger, particularly fresh root ginger. I think I'm going to save that little bit for my drink. I'm a bit concerned it's going to be too gingery. And then nobody will eat them, and that would be silly. I would not use that bit. Let's see if I can get that a little bit smaller. So I can still make out a lot of yellow. You can take your time doing this, children, or if you've got crystallised ginger, then you can use it. Some people keep it in their store cupboards. It's not something I do. So there we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? I've made a lovely ginger cake before, and I've used fresh ginger before like this, and it's worked really well. Guess what I could do is actually put it through my garlic press. And that's not a bad idea, and then it'll be even nicer. Okay. Should we see if we can squash some of it through here, children? You might have one of these at home. They're quite good fun to use. see, you put it in there and you put the plunger down. That would have been better. And then you squeeze it together. Oh! And you get out smaller bits. Oh, that's not going to give somebody a big chompy bit to chomp on, is it? Why didn't I think of that before? Sometimes we have to think on our feet, don't we? We have a sudden different idea. There we go. Squeeze it down. Oh, and you get strong muscles, which I don't tend to have anymore since I was poorly. You children, I'm sure, are very good with your muscles. Last bit. It would have been much quicker if I just thought of this to begin with. There we go. Says I. Oh, down we go. Can you see all the juice pinging out? I'm going to smell a ginger, children. And that will do. I feel as if I've made a fine old mess with the fresh root ginger. There we are. Let's leave those bits. Now let's just check we have everything. I think we have. We've got the flour. We've got the ginger. We've definitely got the ginger. We've got the oats and the self-raising flour. Now all we're going to do is we need to mix that together. And we're just going to fold it round. So you go round and you cut through. Okay, so just go round and cut through. And hopefully that's all going to come together. It's looking a bit dry as far as I'm concerned. I say I've never made these before, children. This could be an absolute disaster. But I thought, let's give it a go. Coming together. Sometimes you have to add something like a little bit of milk to things to make it a bit creamier. You can do that with cakes, but I think from what I can make out and from the sounds, I think, children, it's working. Try not to grimace. It's very hot today. Perhaps we need the back door open. Some fresh air, the oven on. Oh, oven temperature, children. Now it calls for 170. My oven tends to cook a bit hot and there's a fan oven. So I've set mine up 165, okay? So that's what I would suggest. Now, if you have a look now, it's all come together really nicely. And all we're going to do now is put that onto a baking sheet. Now, I don't like to do lots of washing up. I do a lot of washing up. So I put a bit of greaseproof paper on mine just to help them stick. And apparently they like to spread. So we need to make sure we leave enough room between each one. Now they say it's going to make about 20. I don't know about that. It doesn't seem a lot of mix in there, but we'll see. I guess it depends what size biscuits you want. Do you want really big biscuits? Really big? Or do you want small biscuits? Or medium? Big, medium, small? I don't know. I wonder what Annabelle fancies. She would like small. Okay, so I like to use 2 different size spoons when I'm measuring and making things like biscuits. So you go in with 1 spoon and you literally are just going to put a dollop on. Push off with the back of the other spoon so you don't get any mix on it, and you just literally push off. So you're going to go in for a spoonful, use the back of the spoon and push off. Okay? A bit like, did we make log cakes together? I think we did, didn't we? I think I probably did dollops that time as well. And it's a good word to say dollop. A dollop of biscuit mix. So how many have we got now? 1, 2, 3, 4. should we go for another one? Might have to cook them in 2 batches, children. And I would store these in an airtight container so that they don't go all soggy. Now the trick, I said there's a trick with biscuits, because in case you have made biscuits and they've been a disaster. The trick with biscuits is actually to not cook them for too long. So they're going to come out and they will feel as if they're not cooked. And so they'll still be really soft. But as soon as they come out, children, and they begin to cool down, that's when the biscuits will go hard. So the last thing you want to do is overcook them, because they will harden up as they cool off. Shall we count how many we've got now? So let's do our 1-to-1 counting. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I've probably made mine very big if it's supposed to make about 20. 10. So I would suggest you make yours smaller. 11, and mine are probably going to all collide into each other, but that'll be fun. 12. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little trick where you use the back of a fork and you just press them down, and it will just help them with their shape and their spreading. Some of these do look a bit huge, Annabelle, don't they? Actually, let's just take some of this off, because otherwise they are going to completely collide into each other. I might move some out and do it in 2 batches. There we go. See, I'm thinking on my feet again, children. Space them out. And they don't take very long to cook. There we go. Does that look a bit better sizing? I think so. They're going to be as tasty with a cup of tea. Let's see how long they take to cook. It says 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to go for 15. So I'm going to go for 5, 10, 15 minutes. Now remember that the oven is hot, hot, hot. So this is where you need an adult to pop them in the oven for you. And the middle of the oven, not the top, not the bottom, but the middle shelf of the oven. Okay, children? In they go. And I'm just going to count to 15. 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. Oh, Annabelle's telling me that's 16. There we go. We'll take one away and we'll have 15. And I'll show you what they look like when they come out of the oven. See you in a minute. So there goes the pinger, children. Here's Purdy. She's come to see what we're up to. So we'll turn the pinger off. And let's have a look, see how our biscuits are. Purdy knows it's hot, hot, hot. Oh, no, she's bringing me a toy. So here we are, children. You can see they've spread out a little bit and they're still soft and squidgy, and that's what you want, and they've got a little bit golden brown. Now they will harden up as they cool, so don't cook them any longer than that, and just pop them on a cooling rack. And I've got some others ready. So I'm going to just quickly put those in the oven too. There we go, middle of the shelf. And they took actually about 18 minutes. So we'll go a bit longer. 18. And that's the end. So you can leave those to cool, children. And then once they're cool, you can put them in an airtight container and enjoy them with a nice drink, perhaps sitting out in the garden with your mummy and daddy or whoever is looking after you. But don't cook them any further than that, children, otherwise they'll be rock hard. I hope you've enjoyed them, and I hope you get to make your biscuits really soon.